President Dmitri Medvedev, thanks very much for joining us on CNN. Now, European leaders, as well as US leaders, including President Bush, have issued strongly worded statements urging you not to recognise the Georgian breakaway territories of Abkhazia and South Ossetia, but you've gone ahead and done that anyway. Is this meant as a deliberate snub to the West?
This is not any kind of challenge, by no means. That was our deliberate position. For 17 years, Russia has done its best to help restore Georgia's territorial integrity at all levels and within all international frameworks. This was the only opportunity to prevent the further escalation of the conflict, further bloodshed, and the killing of civilians. That's the first reason. The second reason is that all people have the right to self-determination. Our colleagues have repeated on more than one occasion, Kosovo is a special case, that's fine. But then South Ossetia and Abkhazia are special cases too.
But let's touch on that issue of Kosovo. You've brought it up. You objected to the independence of Kosovo, the recognition of its independence, because it violated international laws. Yet your recognition of Abkhazia and South Ossetia violates those same laws. Isn't that double standards?
No, those are not double standards. I would like to re-emphasize that each state decides for itself whether to recognize the independence of a people as a subject of international law or not. In our opinion, the situation that established in Kosovo did not give enough grounds for recognizing it. The Georgians were conducting ethnic cleansing, genocide, both at the beginning of 1990s and quite recently. The situation was totally different.
President Medvedev, you ordered Russian forces into South Ossetia and elsewhere in Georgia and Abkhazia as well for what you called humanitarian reasons, because Russian nationals were under threat and being killed, Russian civilians as well as peacekeepers. Would you do it again? Would you send forces in again to Georgia if necessary? Or would you send them in to countries elsewhere in the former Soviet Union?
Our country will of course help providing security to those two states, South Ossetia and Abkhazia, and in case they're attacked, we'll of course render our assistance to them. As far as interfering into other situations, other conflicts, we're not planning to do that. But Russia is a country which must secure its interests along the entire perimeter of its borders. That's absolutely obvious.
You've inherited the Russian leadership at a very intense time in relations between this country, an important time in relations between this country and the West. There are outstanding issues between the United States and Russia over missile defense, over various other international concerns. What steps would you like to see the next President of the United States take in order to rebuild what would be a close and cooperative relationship with Moscow?
We're prepared to work with any administration of the United States that will be elected by the American people. The most important thing for us is that our American colleagues be pragmatic, that they defend the genuine interest of the American people, as opposed to defending made-up ideological schemes. We don't want any complications. We don't need another Cold War or its modern-day remake. We would like to have full-fledged, constructive relations with our Western partners, including the United States.
So no new Cold War then, but President Medvedev, do you believe that we're at the start of a prolonged, painful period of confrontation between Russia and the West over all those issues? Georgia, missile defense, Iran.
We do have disagreements, but they're not insurmountable. And if you don't blow the problems out of proportion and not to try construct a new Cold War, nothing bad will happen. As far as Iran is concerned, we are actively cooperating with our partners, including the United States. As far as missile defense is concerned, naturally, we don't like the fact that Russia is being surrounded with new bases and new missiles. We don't like it. But at the same time, we calmly and constructively continue speaking about those issues. If you don't fan up tensions and proceed from a pragmatic position, then everything will be all right.